Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown. The three, steps back, crossover, puts up a three. Rebound James. Second. It's over. It's over. Cleveland is a city of champions once again. The Cavaliers are NBA champions.
Cleveland! This is for you!
What's up, Cleveland? Welcome to our first ever live installment of the Block, the Shot, the Stop, a Cleveland Cavaliers podcast. Brought to you by the wonderful people at Blue Wire. My name is Tim Daniel. To my right is Skylar Webker and Kevin Lynch. And guys, we are live at Southern Tier Brewery, just a block away from Ryman Arena.
How about that?
How cool is this?
Shout out to Southern Tier for hosting us.
Yeah, they give us beer. They give us beer to give away. So hey, if you're cheers, guys. If you're tuning in and you're in the area, come stop by and hang out. But what an awesome night! We're so happy to be here before the Cavs play this Sunday afternoon. For those who don't know us, what we do is after every Cavs show, we get on and we do a post-game show on our podcast, just kind of talking about the game. We want to capture the emotion of what just happened every night, whether it's a win against the Celtics like we just had Friday night, or a loss against OKC like we had a few weeks ago. We want to make sure you feel what we feel and have a fun time. So Kev, Skylar, all this work, and I just have to say one quick thing. What idiot thought this would be the perfect year to start a Cavaliers podcast, right?
I was literally thinking, luckily, it's pretty much always a win this year that we get the podcast after. But yeah, no, this has been so much fun. It's obviously awesome to actually be in Cleveland, be doing a show, meet some other Cavs fans. It's a great day.
Yeah, this has been the year. And I don't know about you guys. I know I'm the ultimate Cavs homer. But this feels like the year. And it feels like nobody can beat this team.
This feels like, the way I'll put this is, look, we all love LeBron James, right? Like, this is like the reason a couple of us became Cavs fans. This team's better than any LeBron team. Including the title team. Like, this team is better than any of the teams.
I think the statistics would back it up because of either one of the beat writers or the Cavs themselves put this out, that the ticket sales and attendance this year has beaten every LeBron team that has ever been in Cleveland. So this is a team that This is a team that is showing up for the fans, and the fans are showing up for the team.
Not only that, but like they're actually on pace to have the most wins in Cavs history, right? I mean, there's still 6 weeks of the season to go, but the record is 66. They're on pace for almost 70 right now.
Yeah, it's really funny because I was looking at it the other day and I was talking to my wife about it. I was like, we're about to hit today's the 60th game of the season against Portland. I feel like we've been doing this for 2 years.
Well, it's because we haven't been broadcasting that many losses.
Right.
And they don't feel that long.
Yeah, they've won 3-game losing streak. If they win today against the Blazers, it's their third win streak this season of 10 games plus. I can't think of many teams who have done that in NBA history. Like, obviously, the 16 Warriors did it. I think the 96 Bulls did it. But other than that, I think they stand like they're less than the only Cavs team that's done it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the only Cavs team that's done it. And you just love the way that a couple weeks ago we did how the Cavs are built, and you love the guys that are on this roster. The only guy that they really went out and got is Donovan Mitchell. Obviously they signed Max Strus, or they went out and got DeAndre Hunter, but Donovan Mitchell's really the only part of the core you really traded a lot for, versus a couple of years ago, whenever it's Kevin Love, and you traded Andrew Wiggins and first 2 picks to go get, kind of do a sign and trade to get LeBron back. So this is an organic, homegrown team, and even the guys that you went out and signed, like Donovan Mitchell, they want to be here. Like, that's why everybody's signing extensions to stay here.
Yeah, and it's so atypical of today's NBA, right? Like, today's NBA is like, how do we win tomorrow? We got to trade for 2 stars today. Kind of thing. The Cavs took 6 years building this team to the point of being a championship team. And it is a championship team this year. And so it makes the team, as you said, so much more enjoyable to watch. That, like, you watch all these guys come together, and really like gel and improve to what they are now.
Let me ask the live audience here real quick. How many people had a great time Friday night? Okay, let's do it again. How many people had a great time Friday night?
You know what time I had better? I had better Saturday morning, seeing all the memes of Jason Tatum, get out of here, and then the Cavs come out winning. I had a better Saturday morning.
So Sydney, our super fan, was walking in with me, and I was telling her that before Kevin and I went live Friday, I literally didn't know if we made any sense on anything we said because we were so excited. And she goes, "No, you guys definitely make sense. You could just tell you guys were pumped the F up from that game."
It was definitely a disjointed episode, but we didn't know what to say.
I mean, it's the moment of the year, which I know we're going to get to that here in a second, but I don't know if there's a game that solidifies this team and tells the story of this team more than beating the Celtics the way they did. Falling down 22, not giving up, literally getting Mobley in foul trouble, and still find a way to win. Jared Allen doesn't play the fourth quarter because the matchup doesn't make sense for him to play. They still find a way to win. That game right there told you everything you know about the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2025.
It did, and I think you just segued into what we wanted to do on the show today, and that's we just want to cover a couple quick topics. While everybody's here, feel free to shout out your version for this. But first question is what do you think is the biggest reason for the Cavs' success? Skylar, I'll start with you.
I think the biggest reason is, I think the continuity plays a piece of it. This is a team that's been together, the core pieces have been together, and they're going to be together for the next foreseeable future. All these guys have signed extensions. There's control over these guys for many years. But with that continuity comes kind of the will to overcome, or the knowingness that you're going to overcome, playing for each other. I think that's the biggest difference between this year's Cavs and last year's Cavs. I know you can get to semantics about the coaching staff, the game planning, this, that, and the other, but I really think the team chemistry and the continuity of it all just kind of plays together into they got down 25 to 3 on Friday, and they didn't quit. They didn't give up. They didn't fold. They didn't say that the lights were too bright. They came back and they battled and they played for one another and sent Boston home.
It's a great point. It's hard to argue with. Tim, what do you think is one of, if not the most important reason for the Cavs' success?
So Skyler's right. The continuity makes a ton of sense, but this will to win that Kenny Atkinson brought. So not that JV's staff didn't have that, because obviously that team did go to the playoffs back-to-back years. They won a playoff series, so obviously they had the heart to win. But I think just the buy-in to Kenny Atkinson, where we knew what this Cavs team was defensively for the JV era, and you can see that in Detroit right now. He's a shot what he's doing there. But Kenny coming in and being look, guys, this offense is broken. We need to fix it. And it's hey, Evan Mobley's going to have the ball. Evan Mobley's going to be kind of the guy that we kind of run our offense through. And don't get me wrong, Mitchell and Garland are great, but everyone kind of tapping into their strengths because of what Evan Mobley provides the team has made so much of a difference. Darius Garland is this dribble drive point guard. I've said on the show many times that I think he's in the half court. I don't want any other point guard than him. And I've said you and I've talked a million times, Skyler, about when they do get a rebound, they go into fast break, have a transition. I don't want any other player than Evan Mobley to hold the ball because he's going to make the right decision every time it feels like. So I think Mobley is not only taking that next step as a basketball player, but his decision making has really kind of been this big thing for this Cavs and really taking that next step.
What about you, Kevin?
Knowing I was going to go last, I wrote down a few just in case you took mine.
Did I?
I did put players buy-in. That's true. Obviously, this team has bought in the way more a college team would than an NBA team. I know we brought that up before. I put the players' health, which I think is a little bit of luck. I think it's definitely
luck.
It's luck, and it's the way the coaching staff is managing the minutes and everything to give them more opportunity to be healthy. But the thing I put that I think hasn't been talked about a ton is Donovan Mitchell's evolution as a leader.
Yes.
Because he he has been one of the best players in the NBA, a top 10, 15 player, however you want to categorize him, for several years now. But this year, he's actually evolved into one of the best leaders in the league. When you think of great NBA leaders, you think of like Steph Curry, you think of obviously LeBron James, Cleveland Zone. I think of like Tim Duncan, guys like that who led in a different way, but all in the sense of like bringing teams together and bringing all the individual players together for the greater good. You look at Donovan Mitchell's stats, like he's had 3 or 4 seasons with better stat lines than he has this year.
Yes.
But I don't think he's had a more impactful season, especially towards winning than he has this year.
I think too with Mitchell, and not to talk about this, but you look at like you said, his decision maker to be like, look, if I get Evan Mobley take the next step, our team's gonna be better. But also knowing like that Boston game, they don't want to win that one. The fact that he is like kind of understanding of management, we're like, look, tonight is my turn. Tonight is my time to take over and win this game for us. And not that Mobley wasn't great in the fourth quarter and Garland didn't do his thing, but like when you look at that Celtics game, when Mitchell was able to kind of figure out like this is why they brought me here to win games like this.
Yeah.
This is absolutely perfect.
I think Donovan Mitchell leads the league in high fives this year.
I don't know. Tristan Thompson might be a close second on that.
Hey, can we get like a quick round of applause for Kenny Atkinson, by the way?
I mean, here's the thing. The Cavs are blowing teams out, and they're winning against your upper echelon teams, but they're doing it with the least amount of minutes on your starters the entire year. I mean, you look at Friday's game against Boston, you could have sworn, if they won, Donovan Mitchell's playing 40 plus, 35 minutes. He hasn't crossed 40 minutes yet this year.
No one has.
Yeah. And you look on the flip side, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they played 45 minutes each.
They were 83 of the Celtics points that night.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of thing.
So, shouts out to Kenny. Shouts out, Kenny.
Let's talk about another new Cavs fan favorite before we get to some fun segments. DeAndre Hunter.
Okay.
So they make the trade. They make a trade that like was a big necessity, and I know that was hard because look, Cavs fans are here. We all love George. We all love Harris. Like what those guys did for this team was unbelievable. But DeAndre Hunter was the absolute 100% final piece of the puzzle of this team, and you see it every night. So in the 7 games he's played as a Cavalier, 5 of those games he's hit 3+ threes, and in Boston he hit 4. He was unbelievable. We made the bet. He goes to follow us on socials and make a bet for every game. This is the thing you should take. Most of the time, we're pretty good at it. We were good Friday, but like DeAndre Hunter coming to this team really kind of took this team to like a new level as far as like that offensive sophistication and also that fact that he's like, look guys, you do what you have to do. I'll guard Jason Tatum.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is the missing piece. You kind of. All right, see ya, Karis LeVert, see ya, George. You guys were great as Cavs, but you're bringing in a guy that is equal to the firepower of both of them.
Yes.
On top of, he held Jason Tatum to 1 for 5 on that night, whenever he was guarded up against
Skyler can lead stats.
I'm saying. So he's bringing it to you on both ends of the floor. He's keeping, the guy that he's guarding off the scoreboard, and on top of it, he's producing on the other end in kind of the way you expect of him. But just on top of that, just in general, I know I said this with you, Kevin, that I think a lot of the concerns around him were Atlanta specific, where Trae Young is holding onto the ball for 22 seconds, and then passing it to DeAndre Hunter, saying, "Here, check my shot real quick."
Yeah, he's like, Darius Garland like tries the ball on the court, they set their offense. He's like, guys, you threw the ball, there's like still 19 seconds in the shot clock, right?
DeAndre has been exactly what they hoped he would be when they made the trade. He's the physical presence on the wing, and then he is the floor spacer on offense. Give him a little bit more on offense even than that, but so far so great with DeAndre Hunter as Cavs.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, by the way, real quick before we move to the next segment here, just because I like you. And can we get another round of applause for the Cavs this year?
I want to shout out Southern Tier. I mean, this
Shout out
place has
Southern
been
Tier.
awesome. I mean, they've been nothing but gracious and gracious for all of us. Putting us up, for helping us with some giveaways.
Look at my man here in the digital jersey. Shout out. With the Nike Blazers. Shout out. I like it. So let's talk about some big moments of the season. It's kind of like, obviously, so I've been here. This is my third time seeing the Cavs today this year. I got lucky. I know Kev, you're going to see them in Chicago on Tuesday. We have a really fun podcast coming out tomorrow where we preview the Bulls game with a good friend of mine that you guys want to check out. It's really good. But just big moments from the Cavs this season, things that jump out to you, your favorite moment of the team. Kev, I'll start with you. Like, what was kind of your like, oh cool, this team is like really fun. This is legit.
I didn't know you were going to start with me. I thought I was going to have the again assessment. I wrote down like 5.
I asked you first to be on the show.
I'll give you one, but just come back to me at the end, so I'll give you some honorable mentions. You know what my favorite thing from this year is? The winning streaks. They have had 3 winning streaks of at least 9 games, a 9, a 12, and a 15. If my math is right, that's 36 games without a loss between 3 different streaks. And I don't know about the rest of you, I think winning's really fun. So I'm going to go with that as fun.
For winning.
I'm going to go with that as my most favorite thing from this year. What about you, Scott?
It's hard to beat winning.
Ask Charlie Sheen.
I got tagged in one, bud. I mean, it's hard because I like these guys. I love these guys. I have jerseys of like all of these guys. I think my biggest like enjoyment I've gotten of this season is the national media shutting up about
As the season goes on.
just shutting up as far as disparaging the Cavs. From last year, all the talk was, everybody's leaving, nobody's staying. Donovan Mitchell's getting out of there as soon as he can.
Going to New York.
Yeah, and all these guys signed extensions, and then it was, well, you guys can't do it. You guys can't. You're just Cleveland without LeBron. So I think my biggest enjoyment is the identity of this team. This feels like the first, and maybe this feels terrible to say because I'm 31 years old.
Shut up.
But this is the only Cavs team that seems to have an identity in my lifetime without LeBron.
No, you're 100% right.
And I'm 31 years old.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I'm 20-something. They're in my teens saying this.
Buddy, what about you can attest? We sat with DeJuan Wagner and Darius Miles.
Yeah. What about you, Tim? We're playing Oprah's favorite things. What is one of your favorite things from the season?
Darius Garland. Just the fact that, like, okay, I'm trying to figure out how to simplicity this. So my wife's family's over here, and they're in a group text with me. We talk about the Cavs daily. I'm the idiot. I'll admit it. I'm the idiot that said maybe they should trade Darius Garland.
Bad luck. Bad luck.
I was wrong, and I'm so happy I was wrong. And so, what Darius Garland has become, and so I mentioned already, in the half court when it's like they can set their offense, and he's the decision maker, it's a wholly different thing from last year. Like, I gotta be honest, like, I didn't pay as much attention last year to the injuries as I should have, and I made that comment. So that's on me. But like what he's done this year as far as like triple handball, he's got that. When they run like the offenses they run this really sophisticated offense where everything is up to him to go, I'm gonna drive, I'm gonna shoot, or I'm gonna make sure I get somebody open. He has mastered all 3 of those in Kenny Atkinson's offense. Like I told you, Kevin, we've had many conversations about this on the show. My favorite Darius Garland action is when he tries to paint and he's like, okay, Jared Allen's in the dunker spot and say if they attack me, I'm just gonna dish it off to him. What he's become as far as like his decision maker is so incredible. But also you look at other things he's done this year. I mean, obviously he's an all-star, but the buzzer beater in Detroit. I mean, that game is probably the second biggest win of the year besides the Celtics game. He's just become this elite decision maker on top of being an all-star where, if you're Cleveland, if you're Cavs fans, like guys, right? Like, we feel good Darius Garland's the point guard of our future, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, round of applause for Darius Garland.
I'm going to go through some honorable mentions. Like picking out your favorite thing from this Cavs season is kind of like picking your favorite beer in Southern Tier, right?
Yes,
you just
that's right.
you just throw a dart at the menu and you'll find a good beer.
So you guys like that comment, right?
So I am on the verge of quitting the podcast. I immediately took Ty Jerome. Evolution Ty Jerome. I thought I was leaving.
I was leaving for you.
I thought since you let up with me, I was like, I'll leave it for one of them. I can't believe we didn't say that. The evolution of Ty Jerome, obviously a huge story. I'm here like Mitchell and Garland, like working and proving everyone wrong has been incredibly fun. Mobley hitting threes, I think, is a very fun storyline.
Defensive player of the year.
Yeah. George Niang and Tristan Thompson's interviews, RIP, but they were a lot of fun. And nobody said Jared Allen's throw, which I know is not new this year, but it continues to be fun.
Pretty wonderful.
Yes.
It's not as big as it used to be. A couple of years ago, he was really getting it out there.
Yeah.
You guys want to do some giveaways?
Yeah.
Talk first?
Yes. Why don't we finish up while we talk just a little bit about the game today, and then we'll give some stuff away. What do you guys think?
We actually have a gentleman in the audience over here who's wearing a bow tie for Nick Gilbert Day. So he has a Cavs trivia question for us.
Oh, you want to do it on air?
I'm scared.
By all means, come on up, sir.
Yeah. How are you? I'll hand you my microphone, sir. But first, can you please introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
I'm Ken from the Patriots, and we had a question. Who was the first Cavs to have a triple-double?
Who is the first Cav to have a triple-double?
Bob Sir.
Nope.
The only person I can think of that would have the only person I can think of that would have the rebound numbers for it, Brad Doherty.
It wasn't rebounds, it was steals.
Oh, it was steals.
Wilkins?
What's he got?
Footsie Walker.
Footsie Walker.
Oh.
Do you know what the stat line was?
It was in 1979. I don't know what the line was.
Do you know what the was it assists, steals, and
I think it was points, assists, and steals.
okay.
Wow. Why don't you hand the mic back to us? Please tell us, what is your prediction for the Cavs finale this season? Are they winning the title?
They're winning the title.
Hey!
Go Cavs.
I'm ready for a 6-hour Cavaliers parade.
Buddy, if we win the title, do people understand how obnoxious we're going to be for 3 weeks?
Oh boy.
I don't think. All right. So first off, I don't think other cities and geographic locations understand how absurd the championship parade was in 2016. The parade is yes, I was here.
Okay.
Did you know the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead?
Yes, it was 3-1 day. Yes, it was 3-1 day.
But a championship parade in most cities is like an hour long, 2 hours. The parade itself was 3 hours. That's not even including the speeches, the podium time.
LeBron leaked out every other word. A
Just
guy.
getting shirtless J.R. Smith through
It's like an internet phenomenon.
Hey, did a guy eat horse poop? Am I remembering that right? Did a guy eat horse poop? I thought that was a Cavs parade.
I think it might have been Philly.
We'll fact check.
So,
No porta johns. That's true.
can I,
Come on, Cleveland.
Can I tell my funny story about Game 7?
Sure.
Okay, so Game 7 of the 16 finals, I was at a buddy's house, and I was like, going to watch a WWE pay-per-view, and I was like, can I watch the game while I'm hanging out with you? So he's not a basketball guy. So I brought my iPad. My iPad was not connected with Wi-Fi. I'm watching the game on my phone. When LeBron blocked Andre Iguodala, I got so excited, I chucked my phone in the air on accident. Thank God I caught it. Because I'm like, okay, so Kyrie hits the shot. Hey, I don't know if they're noticing a trend here between block and shot guys. And when Kyrie hits the shot to take the lead, I accidentally checked my phone.
Again?
Yeah, I accidentally checked my phone. My story here is don't watch big games on your cell phone. It's not a good idea. And then when, of course, like, LeBron gets fouled to go to the foul shot and get to the free throw line and take the last shot to take a 4-point lead, I'm already crying.
Yeah.
I was living in Akron at the time, and my buddy worked for some architecture firm. His office was obviously closed because it's a night game, and I went there, and they had an 80-inch television, whatever. We watched the game there. We lose our minds, and then on the drive home, in Akron, the streets are flooded. Like in the passenger seat of his car, giving out high fives like I did something. I didn't do anything. I watched the game just like everybody else. I was in the championship parade on the night of Game 7, just trying to get home.
Well, you did a great job watching the game.
You did.
for
I
being
did.
honest.
Thank you. Thank you. I put a lot of beers in that game.
I cried. I legit cried. And the funny thing is, I grew up a Bulls fan.
I almost had a heart attack because my wife was into a basketball game screaming at the TV for the only time in the 13 years that I've known her.
Because, we'll be realistic here. Kevin and I were LeBron fans. So we became Cavs fans. You grew up seeing it. So we're just going on. But when you fall in love with this team, there's no better team to fall in love with. There's just something about the environment here. There's something about the passionate fan base. I talked to Story all the time on the show. I went to the Celtics series last year in the playoffs. And I went as a Lakers fan. I fell in love with the Cavs because of the arena.
Yeah.
I didn't want anything else. I didn't want to watch any other team play basketball more than the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Was it the cue or was it the gun?
It was Evan Mobley's maturation in that series. Where it's like, yeah, we're outmanned. The Celtics are a better team, but he's not going to lose one fight.
Well, that's the cue.
Yeah.
So I don't really know if there's a whole lot to say, but if we did want to preview the game today, my preview is the Trailblazers stink, the Cavs are going to win. You guys have any better analysis than that?
That's pretty hard-hitting evidence right there.
That's why we get the big downloads.
Yeah, right. Which, hey, if you haven't listened to us already, and this is your first time to know us, please download us and listen. So at the moment, the only guy who has been officially declared out today is Mitchell on the Cleveland side of things. Excuse me for all I use my phone to make sure I have everything up to date while we're doing the show. But Mitchell's out, and this is all Portland has out, mind you. This is their whole roster. DeAndre Ayton out. Matisse Thybulle out. Joel Minaya out. Robert Williams out. So whatever the spread is, take it. The Cavs are
No.
favorites.
Hey, I put out the bet of the day. This is that I'm almost as confident on as any bet this year. The Cavs to be winning at the end of every quarter is even money.
Yes.
Even money. Instead of giving up the 11 points in the game, just bet that they're going to be winning at the end of every quarter and make some money today.
Hey, can I do just one quick thing, guys? You know, if I think of the show, because I feel like that's the precedent of this fan club. I'm going to do it. Can we guys give credit to Evan Mobley for that next step in who he's become?
Absolutely.
So like I said, my wife's fingers over here. They told me for days, for years, talking about how good Evan Mobley is. And I promise you it's going to pay off. It's paid off.
This year is the year to have it pay off. This team can be built better around everybody.
This is flat out. And I don't know if Catherine really know how special he is as a talent. A couple weeks ago at the All-Star break, he said, he was asked who's going to be the best player in the next 5 years. He said him and Victor Wembanyama. And people laughed at it.
Yeah.
Well, why did they laugh at it? He legit has everything in him to be the best player in the world.
Yeah, I think Evan is still just scratching the surface
I
of what
agree.
he can be. I think he has already shown you that he can be or will be one of the best defenders in the league for the next decade plus. And his offensive revolution this year, just the confidence of putting the ball on the floor, the confidence of shooting threes to go along with how athletic and good a finisher he is inside. I don't know why you wouldn't take him seriously on that.
I mean, I think Richard Jefferson on the night of the OKC game, when Richard Jefferson was on the call, they kind of asked Richard Jefferson, where are we on the evolution of Evan Mobley? He said 60%. We're 60% of him unlocked.
Yeah.
And this is him at 60%.
Even the Boston game, he goes what? Evan Mobley has 11 points and they're in this game right now. If he takes over this game, they're gonna win. Paraphrasing. And the fourth quarter was pretty incredible. So I'll ask you guys this before we get to. Kevin's got some great historical trivia for you with Cavs history. Is it fair to say, and we're looking ahead, we have 4 years now, Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley on Team USA in LA in 2028?
Of course. Yeah, and throw Garland on there too.
Dude.
Throw Allen on there.
So Team USA is winning another gold medal because of the Cavs players, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Team Cavs versus
No one
the world.
loves Team USA the way I do.
Cleveland versus the world.
Hey, All right, can we get a "Let's Go Cavs" chant for a second before we get this fun stuff? Let's go Cavs! Let's go Cavs! Let's go Cavs! All right, Kevin, I'll show you now.
No, I'll read one more, and then you guys can read some. We'll finish up the show there. I want to say hi to a couple people that walked in. I'm actually not going to ask this one. I'm just going to tell this one because I don't think anybody will get it, but it's the favorite trivia question I've come up with. I'll give everybody just a second. Who leads the Cavaliers in fouls this year? Who has committed the most fouls for the Cavaliers this year? Nope. Garland's a good guess, Clay.
That's a really good guess.
The answer is
LeVert?
No.
You're on to something.
Close. The answer is George Dean, and he still has committed 20 more fouls than anybody else on the team, even though he hasn't been on the team for 2+ weeks. All right, you guys can. I'm going to read one more, then you guys can read some and finish up. The only other one I wanted to read and just shout it out. Who are the 3 Cavs players responsible for the name of our podcast? Who did the block, the shot, and the stop? You got to get all 3.
That's
Hey! Come get some merch, man. Come get something.
Yeah, please. So for those who are here, we have some merchandise over here. It's very limited left. Hey, I gave you a shirt already. What are you doing, sir? I'm just kidding. Take whatever you want.
All right, I got a question. Which former Cav had the nickname of Outback Jesus?
Of what?
Outback Jesus.
I have no idea. Is it Jurnis?
No, not Zadrunas. Outback Jesus. What former Cav had the nickname of Outback Jesus? That's not his name. Nope.
He didn't play for the Cavs, JT.
Cavs didn't play for the Cavs. Matthew Dellavedova.
Come grab some merch, please.
Come grab
Please
some.
say whatever you want. Okay, so before we close out, Southern Tier was so kind to give us this wonderful 15-pack of 12-ounce cans. And I'm going to reference one of my all-time favorite Cleveland Cavaliers for this trivia question to give this away. Also, I'm going to check your ID, so if any young kid gets this, I'm sorry, but legally I have to make sure you're 21. I'm going to bring out my old friend Bob Sura. For the first person to tell us this question gets this 15-pack of 12-ounce cans from our friends over here at Southern Tier. What jersey number did Bob Sura wear for the Cleveland Cavaliers?
2.
Not 2. Who said 3? Who said 3? All right, you get to take home the 12-pack. That was right.
My wife just won.
Of course your wife won. Of course your wife won. All right, Skyler and Kevin, before we get out of here, because this has been
One more question.
an unbelievable year to cover the Cleveland Cavaliers. We have some hot mics here because we're too close to each other. One more question?
One more question.
Oh.
And I think this is a good one. Which Cav is the only person to have their jersey retired this century? So what?
That's a good question. Who was the only Cav to have their jersey retired this century? It is someone who's played this century.
Yes.
What did you say?
Tristan Thompson?
No.
Ilgauskas is the right
So
answer.
Jonas Ilgauskas is the only Cav this century.
That's the right answer.
This century to have their jersey retired, which feels bananas, doesn't it?
It does feel bananas.
I feel like there's a couple more coming soon.
Guys, why is Terrell Brandon not retired?
I don't
Why
know.
not Boobie
That's
Gibson?
biased. It's like one of my favorite players ever.
Boobie Gibson.
They were the same numbers, Skyler.
I think Boobie deserves
Are
it.
there like 90s kids here that know how legit Terrell Brandon was? Am I the
Yes.
only one?
But Boobie Gibson deserves it.
You were born in you're 30, okay? All right. All right. So, before we get out of here and we end the show and we do what
You said before we get out of here like 7.
I know, that's what I
There
do.
you go.
We just like talking with everybody.
Kevin, we're from the Midwest. This is how we say goodbye. I just want to say real quick that Southern Tier was an unbelievable partner for this show. We couldn't be happier that they let us come here and do this. We're right by the Rocket Arena because they just changed their name for the 700th time. We're supposed to be celebrating the 30th anniversary of that, by the way, but like, how can you celebrate something that changed their name all the time?
It's Cleveland. They change the name of the stadiums and quarterbacks every year.
That's a great line.
Skylar just had the
Sounds like a
light show.
t-shirt.
But
That's the next shirt.
for those of you who aren't here with us every year and have never checked out our show, please take a second. We're the Block the Shot to Stop. We do a show after every Cavs game, except for today, for obvious reasons. We love covering this team. We love talking about this team with everybody. We love this fan interaction. We couldn't be more grateful for the support we have, whether it's our family, our friends, or people who are just learning about finance every day. This is awesome. We're having so much fun covering this team, and like, should we come back in the Cavs with the title?
Yeah. Can we be in the parade?
Should we be in the parade? Woo! All right, and I'm gonna put the mic out one more time to get out of here. I really like Kevin speak. Like,
I was gonna say, can I get us out of here? And instead of just Skylar saying it, we get the whole room to close us out here.
even better. We're gonna put our mics out, and we want you all to chant as loud as you can before we close the show out. Let's go, Cavs. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
Let's go, Cavs! Let's go, Cavs! Let's go, Cavs!
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all so much. This was awesome.